Hey everyone, welcome to the Mission Driven Life podcast. This is episode 202. Glad you guys could be here today. Super grateful you guys could tune in. This is the Mission Driven Life podcast, episode 202. Guys, we're talking to you today about the law of addition. And if you haven't read this book yet, this is the 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership. And this is the book that has really impacted my life, especially in leadership and learning about like what it takes to lead a group of people, what it takes to lead others. And this book on influence is one of the best books and one of my favorite books ever to read on leadership. So if you haven't listened to it, if you haven't read it yet, grab the audio, grab the Audible, or grab the book itself, and you can learn from a man named John Maxwell, who is my mentor and my coach, who has helped me grow on leadership. And today we're actually going to be covering that today. This is the law of addition. So this is law number 5. And what it talks about is the power of like adding value to leaders, right? And as we add value to people in our lives, if you haven't donated yet to the Young Entrepreneur Fund, I suggest you guys take action on this if this is true to your heart. If you care about helping young people who are challenged, young people who have big goals and big dreams, but they are held back with their mission. You know, if it's in your heart to support these people that every day they have these big goals and these powerful dreams that they have for their life, but they just don't have the resources. They just don't have the money to really explode their mission and to make it move forward. So donate to the Young Entrepreneurs Fund. You're going to get 7 courses on books on leadership. And one of these books is the 10X Rule by Grant Cardone. So we are giving that book out as well. So the 10X Rule by Grant Cardone, those are one of the courses that are actually involved here. Now, I want to talk to you today about, in this book, what John Maxwell talks about is service and equipping your team. That's what he talked about. So if you haven't read the book, it's chapter 5, and he says service and equipping your team. You know, like the power of like mentoring your team. And I want to give you a couple examples from the CEO of Costco. If you guys don't know who Costco is a grocery store where people go to grab food, toilet paper, whatever, snacks for a very low price. It's actually like bulk price. And people come here to get it in bulk. And what about this is that, you know, Costco is a multi-million-dollar company. And what they talked about here is that how the CEO, he keeps his salary very low. His low was actually rated at the lowest of the CEO's salaries in 500 of the biggest companies. And his was around $300,000 a year. Whereas some people they're taking home salaries of 10 million, 100 million. Now, this is very interesting, like if, as an executive, because when they asked him about this, like, hey, why do you have a low salary, right? And he said, look, it's not good if I'm earning 10 times, 100 times more than the average person. He cares about the people. He cares about the employee, and money is not important to him. His importance is on the mission. And John Maxwell, what he talks about in this book, he talks about how this guy and how he leads is how he adds value to people. What was really cool was that when he heard that a Costco executive's was sick in the hospital, he actually traveled to the hospital in another state in the United States to visit him, to see him and to see how he's doing. And that showed how much he cared for his people. That showed how much he cared and he loved his people. That showed how much he was really willing to do what it takes for his people. For example, when people would visit him at the home office of Costco, he would go downstairs and greet the people in the lobby and greet their guests in the lobby just to say, hey, hello, thank you. His office had folding chairs and folding tables, and it was just a very humble way of how he organizes business. And when I think about that, look, I'm inspired by that. I'm inspired when I see people, they lead from the back and they care about the people, and the money isn't important to them because they know it's the mission. Now, I really wanted to share this because this is one of my favorite chapters, but I like the law of navigation top charts. But as we talk about the fifth law of the 21 irrefutable laws of leadership, here's my take. I want to give you 4 ways to place into action this law. So you can take 4 ways that you can take to grow your leadership today, all right? Now, the first step is I want you to organize a mentor coffee meeting with the top 3 leaders in your organization. I don't care if you have a small business. I don't care if you have a big business. I don't care whatever kind of organization you have. I need you to find, and I suggest that you organize a coffee meeting with the top 3 leaders on your team. Whether that's in school, whether that's in business, whether that's your nonprofit or your charity, in your organization, find time to find 3 people. Now you're probably wondering why 3, right? So it's a leader's job to equip. And when we can spend time to equip our team, equip our people, and like spend time to get to know these people and understand them and get to know their goals and their ambitions and their why, and to see if there's anything that you could do to help them. Now, I'm not talking about like in this meeting where you go and tell people how to do it and coach them. I'm talking about building a relationship and actually leading by how you show up. Honestly, someone can learn so much by your energy. Someone can learn so much by just being around you and in front of you and showing your example. By you just standing and being present with them, people can learn so much by your actions, especially if you're the manager or the leader above them, and you are actually something that means something special to them. So they'll actually respect you more that you wanted to invest time into them. These meetings are also good for to personal development. So also giving feedback, coaching, and giving ways that uplifts them. I want to give you an opportunity to like find this time during this mentor coffee meeting to give feedback, but also to uplift and coach and build them up. Use that as a way to build up your leaders on your organization, right? Now, look, the second thing I want to suggest to you is find ways to educate your team. Find ways to grow your team together. Now, the biggest thing is that people want to learn. People learn all these different things and study all these different courses. I encourage you with your team is to learn together. Now, I know there are so many teams out here, and I know one example. I'm not going to tell who it is, but he leads a team and they do sales and fundraising. And what they do is they read the same book together. They actually read the same book, and they're reading an interesting book. And what I love about this is that when a team learns together, they're actually learning from the same source, and they get all ideas and they can mastermind and talk about it. And masterminding and conversation and having challenging conversations with them is one of the best ways to really learn together, because people get to learn communication and going back and forth, and also handling, negotiating with you and like kind of having a conversation with you, right? The best way to challenge another person is to challenge their ideas and their beliefs. So try doing that today. Now, the third thing I want to share is repeat the brand values. As leaders, we got to show how our mission can inspire their lives and add value to their lives. So if you can repeat the brand values and repeat what's important to your organization, that reinforces something in their mind, because you're a leader. And as you keep reminding them of how important the vision is and the values are, you can repeat them and they will start to attach their passion and their love for their mission. The last thing is, get to know and understand your key players. Like I said earlier, when I talked about the first step of organizing a mentor coffee meeting, get to know and understand your key players. The important thing is to talk about them and get to learn them, and the majority of the talking is done by them. So if we can sit there and we can listen and we can really understand our team players and getting to know, understand why do they do what they do? Get to know who they are and what their goals are and what they want to do in 10 years and 15 years and 20 years. And whether you see if they have investment and power and like to learn about your, and they have the mission and the passion to grow your organization, right? This is a great chance for you to connect with the heart of your mission and connect with these captains and team leaders and team managers because they are on the front lines leading your people. Now, if we can spend time with them and we can get to know them, that raises our influence because everything is built on relationships in teams and organizations. So if we can build that strong relationship, especially in a volunteer organization, when you're not, it's all volunteer, people can leave anytime. But if you can enroll someone into your mission by getting to know them and understanding them, that will take your mission far. So I talked to you today about the law of addition, guys. I talked to you today about that. I hope you guys have a powerful day. Hope you guys take some value from this. I was actually procrastinating on doing this podcast, but I wanted to share this with you. I wanted to share this value with you, and I'm glad that you guys can tune in today. This is the Mission Driven Life, episode 202, the fifth law of addition. Hope you guys have a great day. Mission Driven Life.